Okay, we're going to make a player now that basically controls the properties of a movie clip. So we can move it, we can scale it, we can rotate it, we can fade it up and down, we can just hide it, make it visible, and we can play it or stop it. It's basically a movie clip with just 5 frames in it. Each frame is numbered, so when you stop it, you know which frame you're on. There's a bit more script in this one, but again, once I think you get the gist of this, you'll see that there is, again, repetition, and there's a kind of pattern to the way the script works. So the first thing again is to create the assets. So we've got a series of assets. We'll keep them very simple again. So just arrows for the up and down, or right and left, or so on, and then circles for the other sort of on-off buttons. So if we go to, well, I'll demo the example. So this is how it works. So you've got the movie clip. We can move it around a frame at a time, up or down. You can scale it up or down. You can rotate it by 20 degrees at a time, clockwise or anti-clockwise. We can fade it down or up. That should be working. Just scale that back up so we can see it. Right, now there's the thing, the fade doesn't seem to be working now. I'll just have to have a look at that in a minute. Visibility, turn on and off. Play, so obviously it is playing. Stop. Play and stop. And so on. So various, it's a great way of creating a controller that enables somebody to manipulate a movie clip. So just see where that fade stopped working. Well, I'll worry about that when we come to the when we go through it actually. It's a bit odd, that one. Let's try one more time. Now it's working. Now it's working. Yeah, it seems fine. Okay, no worries. Okay, so like I said, the first thing is to create the assets. So these are in basically a series of buttons. So again, like we've done previously, we create a simple sort of arrow type button for the first asset. So create a shape, and then what we can do is we can, what's the best way of doing this? No, that's not going to work. Just bear with me. Tell you what, I'm going to draw it and think that bit through really. So if we use the straight line tool, okay, basic triangle. It's not perfect, don't worry. Okay, so we have our basic triangle. Rotate that a bit, it's a bit off. No, that's fine. Okay, so we'll turn that into a movie clip. So if we press F8, actually, we'll stick to the same method. Press F8, we will call it button. But it is actually sorry, let me just double check. Yeah, we're not going to use movie clips, so we're going to turn that into a button. So press F8, We'll just call it button. That's our kind of master template button that we can reuse. Okay, and then we'll arrange the different assets. So if we remember the different properties we're going to change, we're rotate, scale, move, sometimes referred to as transformation. So move, scale, rotate, visibility, play and stop, and we had fade, and I think that was everything. Yeah. Alright, so we'll arrange those in the same kind of fashion, I suppose. So we'll move over here, scale, fade, and move these down the side here. Okay, I'll create a basic asset for these sort of on-off buttons here. Basic circular button. And we'll call that button 2. Okay, so we've got our basic assets. So we'll arrange these now so they fit on the screen. You can either drag more instances in from the library. I tend to find it easier to just copy and paste within the stage. So rotate that round. Remember, when you're rotating anything, if you hold down shift, it constrains the rotation. Rotate. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. Scale up or down. And fade up or down. Perhaps you can shift click copy those two and copy the set. I've not copied the set for some reason, never mind. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so we've got our buttons in place. We can create our, so we'll name that layer buttons. I'm just going to check back now and again to make sure I'm basically in line with my example. Yeah, that's fine. So buttons or controls, whatever you want to call them. Put the animation on this one. So basically, the animation is a movie clip, and nested inside that movie clip are 6 frames. Okay, and it plays through those frames. So again, simple at the moment, but you could have a more complex animation that you could use. But we'll keep it simple for the example. So again, we will create a square, make it a different colour. turn it into a movie clip. We'll call it animation. Make sure you change type to movie clip. Okay, and then we'll double click, and inside our movie clip it has its own timeline here, and we can basically insert a series of keyframes, 6 keyframes, and then on each of those keyframes we can place the number that represents that frame. So frame 1. And then again, it's probably easy to copy and paste in place. Paste in place, you can go to edit and paste in place, or the shortcut, keyboard shortcut is Control Shift and V, and just change the number. That'll be the easiest way to do that. Okay, so we have our numbered animation. So, back to my example. So obviously to come back out of the movie clip, you see the navigation trail here. If you click on scene 1 to go back to the main timeline. So we want one final layer like we've done previously where our script's going to go, so we'll call that script. And then the next part is naming the individual controls, or the individual buttons, so they become unique. You know, at the moment really they're all the same. They don't have names. So we'll give them again very literal names. So if you look at the names I've given here, so this first one is move up button. I'm going to copy the names across. That's move up button. Again, you know, copy and paste can save you a lot of time. So for the right button, we'll paste in move up. We'll just change the up to right. So you can always find these little ways of just speeding things up. Paste in, and this will be move left. Okay, move down. Right, I'm going to go through them all. So we'll get the. I think if we get this move controller up and running, and then we can come to the others. So the script for this is hopefully will look. It'll start to become kind of recognisable to you. So first of all, we'll start off with the listeners. Okay. Now this is the set of listeners that apply to the move button, so I'm going to bring these over. And hopefully these should start to look familiar. So again, like the ones we've used before, we address the object, the button that is going to be listening. So move left button is going to be listening for a click. So a click anywhere on that button, and it executes this function, if you remember from last time. So if we go back here, now the functions that these 4 listeners attached to these 4 buttons execute are this set here. So this is where we're coming on to something slightly new. I think it's probably good practice to get into the habit of commenting